So here are a couple of questions I have for you. Firstly, how many times must you be given advice before you take it? Secondly, how many times must someone motivate you before you are able to self-motivate? And how many times must you lean on someone, must you lean on something before you are able to lean on yourself? I mean, how long does it take for you to realize your potential, for you to start executing what you need to execute, for you to start accepting the reality of things and start enduring, that's the word, and start accepting that you have to endure some things in order to get to where you want to get. Life isn't always rosy. There isn't always gonna be that someone who's willingly ready to give you advice. There isn't always gonna be that someone who is ready to motivate you. There is not always going to be that pillar that you can lean on. At some point, and I suggest it be soon, you have to be able to be all that for yourself. You have to be able to be all that by yourself without any external support, any external system that's going to do that for you. It's yes, there are people who are patient enough, and I believe I may be one of those people who are patient, that I'm gonna be there, I'm gonna give you the motivation, I'm gonna give you the advice, I'm gonna give you a shoulder to lean on, or something to lean on, support system. But at some point I do feel like I need that someone to show me that there's growth, there's evolution within them, that they are becoming that self, that thing for themselves. They are becoming self-sustaining. When you plant a tree, or plant a plant or whatever, when it's still small, you take a lot of care of it. You water it. You have to make sure that it has that whole pot-like thing, that when the water comes in, it stays there. You have to keep it in the shade sometimes so it doesn't get too hot or whatever, but you have to take care of it a lot. But as it grows, you leave it. It starts sustaining itself. Its roots have gone deep enough to be able to get the sustenance it needs to survive. When you're a baby, you have to suckle on your mother's breast milk, and then eventually you start crawling, and eventually you start walking. Next thing you know, you're running with no one even helping you, and you start riding a bike, and someone helps you with the bike, and you have those training wheels, and eventually they're off, and next thing you know, it's second nature. That's how life should be in terms of personal growth, in terms of self-motivation. Yes, in the beginning you may need someone to do it, but it shouldn't take that long. It shouldn't take very long for you to get to a point where, you know what, I can actually do this. I actually believe that this is something that I can do by myself, without even needing someone to tell you, hey, you should do this, without even needing someone to show you the way, or to wake you up in the morning, or to tell you to go do some work or whatever. You need to be able to do it by yourself. And I don't know what the time frame is. Maybe I can see from history how long it takes a baby to go from sucking breast milk to not sucking breast milk to crawling to walking and whatever. Yes, that's a general thing. A lot of kids are born every day who are able to study that. But in terms of this, I don't know how long it's supposed to take. But it would be nice if it took much shorter a time. If people believed in themselves much more, if people recognized themselves as their first heroes much more, then a lot more people would probably be happier, because they wouldn't need external gratification. They wouldn't need external recognition. They would just need to look into themselves and decide that this is me, this is what I can do, this is what I'd like to do, and now I am going for it. I don't need anyone to tell me that I should go for it. I don't need anyone to tell me that I cannot go for it. I know that I can go for this? Because a lot of people are gonna tell you no, you can't. A lot of people are gonna try and pull you back. A lot of people are gonna, maybe without realizing, sort of hinder your progress. And if you are not able to push yourself, then you're going to have a lot of troubles, because there may just be one person who is motivating you to go forward, but 20 people who are pulling you back. Now, if you can't by yourself push yourself forward, you don't really need to know any of Newton's laws to know which direction you're gonna go, because there's one going that way and 20 that way. That is pretty clear what's gonna happen there. So be strong, be more mentally strong, that is, not like physically or anything, but yeah, be able to self-motivate, be able to lean on yourself, be able to push yourself to move forward and move towards your goals.